Yeah, oh, we got a name for Yammy B, yeah? Someone phoned me up this morning and said, guess who got a name for Yammy B? Go on, I said, he said Stan Lowe. Remember Lowe and Hardy? He's a ringer for Stan Lowe, so I'm going to put that on my thumbnail. Look at it, it's a ringer, yeah? And anyway, yesterday he was going mad, wasn't he? He was like screaming and shouting. I thought, Paul, you're going to have a banger, mate. You want to slow down. You want to slow down, he's going to have a banger, you know. And his head swelled up and it all red and everything, you know. And then I looked in the back seat and I saw that young girl in the back seat and I thought to myself, it's a bit strange. Why would you have a girl sitting behind you like that? You know what I mean? So what's she trying to prove a point? I'm not gay, Ray. I've got myself a girlfriend. So usually people find people that are like that try to prove they ain't. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden he's got a young girl driving about with him. You know what I mean? So yeah, we know what's going on. Yeah, Yammy, don't you, mate? Yeah, he's trying to prove a point now, isn't he? No, I've got a girl with me. You know what I mean? I'm not gay. Of course he is. He knows he is, and that's the way that's his out now. You know, being a girl with me. He's anyway. To cut a long story short, that's it is what it is. You can't help it, mate. He's been like that for years and years and years, mate. And you know, you got to remember that when Yammy was young, you know, and the mother was she used to have guys around the house and all that. All Yammy see was men. You know what I mean? So he wanted a father figure, and when he went in prison or through schools or what, he was always around men all the time and boys. And then he, you know, started doing things. He had no money, and the only way he could get a bit of money for his medication would be just to go down and suck them. You know what I mean? But which he did. You know, that was what he done. And he done it with his mouth, and that's what he done. You know, and he was well known for that. Reggie Cray, he done the same thing with Reggie. Oh, come on, you can't be friends with Reggie Cray if you ain't doing something to Reggie Cray. Yeah, he put himself right in it there, but still, he is what it is. He does what he does, and he, you know, another thing, you know, this 13-year-old, 12-year-old girl. Let me quickly tell you about the Cowling family. Yeah? The Cowling family, John Cowling. You had John Cowling was their dad. Yeah, a big family, all demolition workers, dangerous people, massive people. You know what I mean? Always cutting big steels, big sledgehammers. And I used to work with them. You know, and you know that's more like how I met Christine and Linda when I went in the house with John. You know, and you've got to see that. And he was a powerful man. And his cousin was Jackie Lane, and Jackie Lane was really respected around Acton and South Acton and all around there. He still is, I believe, he's still alive, yeah. And you know, you had Tommy Green. Tommy Green goes back, big thing with a Rouse, Johnny Rouse and all that. Tommy Green was a nutcase as well, completely lunatic. He worked with Jackie Lane and John Cowling, yeah. Do you really think, yeah, that if I was with his daughter at that age, yeah, that John Cowling wouldn't have said to me, because don't forget I worked with them on the demolition as well. I was with them on the demo, yeah. So don't you think they'd have got me, mate? And they'd have chopped me up. They'd have got hold of me and they'd have killed me. They'd have hit me with a machine, with a ball or something, and put me in a burner. You know, Terry Haley's dad. I used to always work with Terry Haley's dad as well. Another scrap metal merchant. He had a big furnace in his scrapyard. You know, I'd have wound up in there. You know, you can't do them sort of things, mate. You can't get away with it. There's no way. And as for Linda, yes, Linda worked in a hairdresser shop with my ex-wife, Christine. Linda was absolutely stunning. I've got to say it, she was stunning, mate. And Christine was just plain, where Linda was a beautiful girl, yeah. Really, it's just stunning, mate, you know. And I used to take her shopping. I used to buy all sorts of things with Christine. We used to go shopping together. We used to go to the clubs together, the pubs together. And that's it, you know, and make sure that she was okay. Because she was really, I mean, everybody that see her was, oh, hold up, who's that, you know what I mean? And what happened, she got involved with a mate of mine called Farrell McGill. I've done a few things about Farrell. Me and Farrell used to box together. And Farrell's a big, powerful guy. He went with Linda. And I was really pissed off, you know, because, you know, I protected her and she went with Farrell and I was going mad. So I went round to Farrell's and bashed his car up with a big big panel beating hammer, and me and Farrell fell out. But later on, I become mates again. He had a big tyre place in Harlington, behind Harlington Hinton Station, big tyre place. Farrell, massive guy, 30 stones, I don't know, huge. Well, he married, well, he didn't marry her, but he got Linda pregnant. He got Linda pregnant, and she had a boy. He's now big. He runs his dad's company. He's a big boy, yeah, big powerful man, yeah. And you know, when people get mixed up, they get mixed up with Farrell, and rather than mixed up with me, and it should be Farrell. I don't, you know, but Farrell. Anyway, Farrell. I don't know how old she was when Farrell. I was 16, 17. I'm not quite sure. I wouldn't put a number on it really, but he was with her. He gave her a baby. I went round there, smashed his car up because of what happened, and everyone was like, "Yeah, but you was ripped." No, I wasn't. I never ever slept with Linda. I would have loved to have if she was a lot older, mate. You know what I mean? But she was absolutely stunning. Where's this thing that I slept with her? Who does she tell that I slept with her? What, a sister? What, I slept with Ray? They surmised that I slept with her sister because I give Linda everything. I looked after Linda, bought her clothes, bought her shoes, give her money, everything, yeah? Make sure she was okay because out of the family, she was being left out, yeah? So I looked after her. You know, she was really, really stunning. You took her out, mate. Everybody looked at Christine, as I say, Christine was just media, where Linda was really, really beautiful woman. Really beautiful, yeah? And so Christine, obviously, she was really pissed off with me, you know. She's pissed off with me because me and her had a few fights, me and Christine. Mate, I ain't a person that bashes women up, mate. I'm not into that. And all this crap about me broke her nose and put a shotgun in her mouth. Where's all that come from? Where's all that come from? You know, Jude, come on. You know, I've just said about her dad and all that game. You really think they would have stood for that? Please, don't, you know, law of averages says there wasn't, you know what I mean? I'm a man. If someone done that to my daughter, I'd kill them, you know what I mean? They would never be around no more, you know. and Christine's giving Yammy all the information, you know, and Yammy's just making it bigger than what it really, really is, you know. Yammy's just an idiot, isn't he? Come on. He's just a gay man, yeah, that's trying to make out to everybody he's not gay by getting himself a young girl in the back of the motor. Do you know what I mean? He looked and see that, and he had to show her, didn't he? Do you know? It's crazy. Anyway, it is what it is. Yammy's a gay, and that's it. Full stop. And then on top of that, after everything was gone on, yeah, you get him shouting about Paul Thorpe. Why did he get involved? You know, I sent him a text. Leave it out now. I don't want to know. Just do your own thing. Leave me alone. We do our own thing. No more of this shit, yeah? What's he do? Straight away, he's on it, yeah? People have already warned him. People have phoned him up and already warned him, or he's phoned people up to talk to him, and they warned him to stop it. And he's still going on. So the warning he doesn't take, because you know why? He's having a drink and he's having a snozzle and he don't really know what he's doing. He's going to get himself in serious shit. You know, he really is going to get himself in serious shit, you know what I mean? And Yammy, when he was in prison, you know, there's a guy on YouTube, something G, is it? I forget his first name, but he talks about Yammy. He says that he's always down the block. He was always down the block because he used to take drugs, run with them, right? Put them down his thing, go down to the thing, and in his cell, slam the door, and they'd want to kill people. He's smashing. You want to get hold of him, and the safest place for him was down the block. And then people would say to him that he owes me a bit of money. You cut him, I'll give you some gear, but you got to go down the block. So Yammy go in, a little cut, razor cut or something. Yammy would take the gear, give it to the guys, give him a bit of gear, go down the block. And that's all he used to do. Down the block, down the block, down the block. It was more, anybody who goes down the block is a weak person. And that's what he used to do, run down the block. He's just a wimp. He's a wimp. Run behind someone, cut them, and then get a bit of gear and go down the block and hide, you know. It was sort of what he used to do. Anyway, and then, you know, I mean, there's so much, there's so much that, I mean, my ex-wife, Christine, she's using Yammy to have goes at me. Same with my sister Dinah. She's using Yammy to have goes at me. It's madness. How my family can get involved with it, and how Yammy has got the front to use my family against me, I don't know, yeah? You don't do that. You don't do this sort of thing on videos and podcasts. It's not a gangster. It's not a gangster channel where, you know, yeah, all that game. You know, it's stories, it's little things like I've done with Paul Thorpe. You know, I ain't saying nothing else about Paul Thorpe. Finished now. But Yammy goes over the top. It goes over the top, gets my family, brings my family in, brings them in. I might talk about it, but I don't bring them in. Bring them into my channel, sit them down and interview them like he did, yeah? You don't do that. And people have got to wait up. I'm going out very soon and I'm meeting these people and we're going to have a little chat about it all. And I'm going to put it on the video, yeah? Let you listen to what's being said. Because he's out of order and he knows he's out of order. He's a little wimp, you know. He is a little wimp, mate. Look at him. He's, since I've been out of prison, yeah, I've got myself a one-bedroom flat in Harrow, yeah. It was hard to get it, but I got it. It looked like me going back in prison because they already took me to 2 or 3 places. I didn't like them, I wouldn't accept them. They said, right, you're going to get a recall. You're going to go back to the Mount. And I was just walking down the road, bumped my mate seeing me, and I got the flat in Harrow, you know. And I was lucky. And I started doing training, and before you know where you are, this guy called Terry Haley, right, he comes to my house with some weights, and we was talking, and he brought me to his place, and he said to me, look, mate, you know, you used to work with my dad Dennis on the scrap, you know, and on the demolition. I said, yeah, I did. He said, look, I've heard so many stories about you, eh? And I want to give you a chance in life. I want to help you out, yeah? McGee's a multi-millionaire, mate. Multied up. He hasn't got to help me out. He ain't got to help me out. Yeah, he wouldn't, you know, he trusts me like anything, mate. He trusts me so much, yeah? You got to remember, I'm around the place with all his kids, you know, all young kids and everything, you know what I mean? Do you really think he'd let me do that if he knew what you said? If he knew about all that? Well, he does know about it because he's the one who told me this morning to call you Stan Laurel. Anyway, so, you know, he's gone. He said, Ray, mate, this geezer's too much, you know what I mean? Anyway, so he's melted. He ain't got to put me up in here, mate, but he does. He's done a gym, especially for me. He built a gym, especially for me. We started to do the gym, you know, slowly, and now the gym is a proper gym. Yesterday, he paid 4 or 5 grand for a leg machine. This leg machine's the business, mate. Powerful leg machine, right? And he paid about 4 or 5 grand for this, you know, and that's now the gym is really finished now. Leg machine, Smith machine, bags. We got everything: benches, bars, weights, dumbbells, everything. Running machine. We got it all, right? And now, because of all that, right, I'm going to start doing personal training. Yeah, because I am an actual personal trainer. You know what I mean? Well, actually, I'm an instructor, but I didn't take my personal training course because it was all about doing all different sorts of things that I didn't want to get involved with, you know. So, but I still done it, but I never passed it because I wouldn't do what they wanted me to do. So anyway, but I am really a personal trainer, you know. Anyway, so I'm going to start doing getting people in around this area, you know, personal training. The gym's the business, and you know, listen. I haven't got to do it. I don't need the money. Terry Haley looks after me, yeah? Terry Haley looks after me. Anything I want, I get. Clothes, anything. Food, electric, everything. Tellies. I'm talking to you now in my own office. This office in the winter time gets turned into a gym. But at the minute, it's an office. My own office, yeah. Everything's in there. Up there, I've got a big gym, everything in it. Everything I want is in it that he's bought me, yeah. He's bought all my furniture, he's bought everything, dishwashers, tumble dryers, washing machines, freezers, fridges. I got everything. There's nothing that I don't want. I've got everything. Brand new bed, big wardrobe, everything that I want. Yammy, what's he got? I don't want to throw it in Yammy's face yet, but he's got nothing. He might be on TikTok, he might be on Instagram, he might be on YouTube and something else. He gets his little bit of money every month. What does he do with it? He goes drinking, he goes on the snozzle, and he also goes on the smoke, the brown, yeah? He's going to get himself in trouble, mate. He's got to be more sensible. Look at him in that car, shouting and screaming like a little boy. She's screaming, he's screaming. He's screaming. His head blew up like that. You know, I thought he was having a heart attack. The geezer's a mess. He's a mess, mate. He is a mess. People are saying to me, Ray, why'd you get involved with that Yammy? I said, he don't stop giving it to me. You know, I don't know what he's trying to prove. I don't know what he's trying to prove. He tried to get me nicked, mate. He tried to get me nicked when I was on the IPP. You know, he's going, you're not on IPP. You're not on IPP. Yeah, I'm not on IPP, yeah? Well, you know you write a book. Yeah, well, I've got 2 books, actually. I've got one called Street Fighters, when I'm in there with 20 guys that can really have it. So I'm one of the guys that can really have it. So he's got the hump about that, yeah? And then I said I was going to write a book, which took 3 years. No one ever thought it. Yeah, he was going, yeah, he's a lie, he ain't got a book. Well, next thing he's in the car, he's going, he's not even on IPP. He don't stop telling lies. He's not on IPP. So, you know, he's wrong, mate. Because I've got to show you this, yeah? Right? If you look at this, if you look at that, yeah, is it this one? Yeah, this one. This one I'll put my hand on, right? You'll see it there, yeah? I've been terminated, yeah? My IPP has been terminated. This is the one on the other side where I've got my IPP, but this is terminated, yeah? Got it? You see? My name, everything, IPP. It's been terminated. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So once you lie about something like that, he's making out to be a big tough thing. Yeah, I ain't an IPP. What's the difference? I'm an IPP. I didn't want to get an IPP, believe me, but I got an IPP. I've done 20 odd years of my IPP, yeah? So, you know, he makes up, yeah. Black and white, mate. Black and white, IPP. Black and white about Lenny McLean and me and him on a thing. It's the same thing, but Yammy's gone over the top. He ain't an IPP. I'm getting an house, he ain't an IPP. Okay, I'm not an IPP, so it's lying. Anyway, so the people that bought my book out there, right, it's quite a few thousand people, but bought my book, yeah, or maybe 1,000, right, who bought my book. In the back of my book, all the people that bought my book, he's got in it, my IPP has been terminated, yes or no? Yes, from the Home Office, yes or no? You know what I mean? Yammy, just put it on the channel. Just put it on the comments. Just let him see. He's such a silly, silly little boy. You see how he's trying to do things. I got something on my WhatsApp, yeah? And it's Yammy. I got sorry. I got Yammy on my WhatsApp, yeah? And it was on Instagram, and I was to talk with Yammy. And Yammy sent something to me, right, that I want to get it out of there and put it on my YouTube. But it come off YouTube a long time ago, yeah? But I took it off because I didn't want it on anyway. But I'm going to put this on YouTube, yeah? Maybe tomorrow or the next day, I'll get someone to put it on. I ain't got a clue how to do these sort of things. I'm not good on phones. I can talk, but I can't do anything else. I'm going to put it on YouTube, right? And when people hear this and see this, they're going to come off of Yammy's they're going to come off of Yammy's channel, mate, because the geezer uses people for his own purpose, yeah? You know what I mean? And it's black and white. Remember black and white? It's black and white, mate. He's, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to show it. What else? Yeah, it's just, that's it, really. That's all I've really got to say about things. And, you know, Yammy's Stan Laurel, Yammy and my sister-in-law, you know, my sister-in-law, isn't it, Linda? She'd be my sister-in-law, isn't she? And my sister, My sister, oh yeah, I've got to say that about my sister Dinah. My sister Dinah, when my book was being done, my mate, the guy who wrote the book, Matt Trollope, he wrote the book. He phoned my sister up maybe 4 or 5 times about the book and about certain things. Can you put that in? Can you put this in? She never said a word. She never said a one word. All of a sudden, boom, the book's out and she's gone into one. Yeah, she's gone right into one. Right, so even Matt said, what's all that about? A minute ago she was okay and now she's gone right into one. My sister's, I don't know what's up with her, yeah? I'm a brother, mate. I'm a brother, you know what I mean? I would never, ever do this to my sister like she's done to me. Never. I've got things I can say about my sister, you know, bad things, you know, what sort of person she is and done, yeah, but I won't do it. I won't do it. I've been told to do it, but my kids said, do it, but I won't do it. Christine is the same. Christine doesn't realise what she's doing. Let's just say it quickly. This guy got a not guilty at Isle Crown Court. This guy. I was sitting outside in my car and the police come up to me and said, Ray, the jury's out. There's no way in a million years that he cannot get a guilty. He's got to get a guilty, Ray. Right. They arrested him. He was put into Worm Scrubs. She went into Worm Scrubs and married him in the Scrubs. She married this guy in the Scrubs. It's quickly, right? I was in Maidstone prison and I was on my home leave. And when I was on my home leave, I hadn't seen my kids for a long time. I didn't know who she was with or nothing, yeah? And the guy that I knew was a mate of mine was winding up being with her. Stabbed me in the back. So when he knew I was coming out, he went, hid. But when I went and picked my kids up and took my kids home to my house, I haven't seen them for years. I've just got out of Maidstone prison, yeah? It's home leave, yeah? I had my kids in my bedroom, big double bed, and my little boy started talking about my legs, hairy legs and all that and everything. He's talking about Bob, this guy. I ain't going to say no more, but the guy got arrested. But he got arrested. I went to Ealing police station because I'm on home leave, innit? What can I do? Go and kill him? I went to Ealing police station. They then got people from Ealing hospital and the welfare people come and they give my kids little dolls. And my little daughter said no, nothing. But my son, he said something, yeah? He said something, that something got this guy arrested. The true CID come and see me and said, we got him. We found him at, I think it was North Shirt, somewhere on one of them stations, yeah? No, one of West Ham, yeah? They caught him there, yeah? He's arrested. They took him to the Scrubs, you know, and you got to remember, right? You got to remember this. I never said nothing. All I just said is what the kids told me. I took them to Ealing Hospital, to Ealing Police Station. They give them these dolls, and they showed these people what he made them do. Right, so therefore it's nothing to do with me. It's out of my hands. Kids are kids. They ain't gonna lie about it. They should, you know. My dad told me to do that. You know. But anyway, not very quickly, yeah, mate. She went to court and said some things that you wouldn't believe. She made him up. She made him out to be the Pope, mate. The way she come out of it, you know, and she knew that if they get her guilty on this, right, they're going to take the kids from her. They've already told her that they're going to take the kids. She's a fantastic woman, good mother, but lies. She can tell a lie, mate, you know. And the jury believed her. And he came out to me in the car, and they said, "Look, Ray, you know, settle down, mate. He got a not guilty." I went fucking mad, mate. Went mad. I went to the house where he was with a gun, we're going to kill him. He called the police. I went, smashed my mum's front door down, come and got me, tried to bully me, put me in the back of a police car, went to sit on my back, I went mad, and then in the end they got a van, tried to bash me up with truncheons. Anyway, I went to Southall police station. The two CID that nicked this geezer for what he did to my child, one of my children, they said to me, go on mate, fuck off mate, you know, fuck off mate, you can go, yeah, we know what he did, you can go mate, right? So about 2 weeks later, I'm with my mate Alex and we're driving through Ealing Common, and as we made a wrong turning, we had to do this one-way system or whatever it was, and we come out by Ealing Common Station. So we had to stop, yeah? As we stopped, mate, it's like, I couldn't believe it. This same geezer, Bob, walked across in front of the car. He looked round, see me, I'll go out of the car, my mate Alec got out of the car, he run, and he can run, this geezer, but he had a bag with him, a tall bag, because he's a carpenter. Left the bag, run for the station, onto the lines. My mate Alec couldn't find him, said let him go. Got the bag, took the bag in the car, opened the bag, what do you reckon was in it? Pornographic pictures of kids. Mate, never seen him since, mate. Never seen him since. What did you do? What did you do? What did you do with something like that, mate? And yet, this woman says so many things about me, mate, you know, and it's like, them think you got not guilty. You got not guilty, but I should imagine if I went to Ealing Police Station, they'd still have something about that, you know, that yes, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it's just wiped clean, I don't know, but it's one of the things that happen. And my boy, my son, that it's supposed to have happened to, right, allegedly, I'm going to say that because he got not guilty, the guy, yeah, but they also showed the welfare and the doctors what exactly did he do with dolls, yeah. Anyway, my boy, he had a car accident going to Scotland to help his mother out with his geezer used to bash her up. This guy that lived with her, Bob, used to bash her up and everything, all the time. Bash her up, bash her up, bash her up, bash her up. You know, really smashed her to pieces, yeah. So she went to Scotland to hide with a mate I know, his wife. I went down there and I didn't want to stay there. She's not my cup of tea no more. I didn't want to stay there. So I went. My son, he said, he heard that Bob was going to go down, and my son can never fight, my boy. He could really fight, you know. And he went down to help his mum out, go and stay with his mum, because Bob was going to look for her, yeah. As my boy was on his way there, the guy that had the car had no insurance in the car, and he was going round the corner over in Scotland, and he hit a stone wall. My boy shot out through the back seat, straight through the windscreen, hit the stone wall, banged his head. He had a cut right, about 3 inches. The guy who was driving lost half of his face. Another guy lost his eye. Anyway, my boy died 4 times, yeah. They got a helicopter, took him to Dundee Infirmary, right, where my boy and I went and sat. But I was in Kingston, married, well not married, but with my girlfriend, Danny, and got kids, and the phone call comes, I've got to go to Scotland. As you can imagine, she's pissed off of it, you know what I mean? Because she kept coming around the house, Christine, you know? Coming around my place, I don't remember my place, but causing problems in a way, yeah? So my daddy used to call her the midget, because my daddy about 6'1", and she's about 5'3". So, you know, my daddy was absolutely, anyway. So, when I went now, and I see my boy, I cried my eyes up, mate. And he had all machines hanging out of him that you wouldn't believe. They pulled this lever, this thing, and it lifted up, and it could clear his lungs, yeah. And I thought it was up to talk to us, but they pulled this thing. He was dead, really, yeah. But living on the machines. And in the end, they said to us, look, you've got to go to a room, see the consultant. And they said, best thing you can do for this, your boy, is turn the machine off, because he can't, he's going to come out of cabbage, he won't live. I said yes. She went mad. She bashed me up, Christine, and she bashed me up. She said no, so it was no. Week later, they put a bolt in the back of his head to see the blood and all this, that, and the other, but for his brain, and he pulled through. So I'd have murdered my own boy, and she hated me for that. Always hated me for that. But my boy went through a lot, you know. In a wheelchair, she looked after him 10 years in a wheelchair. He's had accidents after accidents. They put his, you know, in a bath where they put his finger in there so it comes down. He's in the water. Water's a bit cold. You turn on your water. She'd gone out to England, washing out and do something, and the bath is scalding. He's screaming. He got scalded, right? Anyway, so about a week later, he fell and hit his head, and his arm went on a heater. He burned all the muscles in his arm. My boy's gone through a lot, so he doesn't remember. He doesn't remember anything, because his brain, you know, he doesn't remember. He's very, he can remember some short things or long, I don't know, but anyway. But, you know, I tried to talk to him once about it, and he doesn't remember nothing. He said, no, not me, Dad. Didn't happen to me, you know. But you can imagine, you know, and when me and Terry, about 5-6 weeks ago, maybe longer than that, we went to see my son with Christine, my ex-wife, sitting there, cups of tea, good chat, everything's a lot nice. My son, going to see my son come down and train with me. Everything was done, everything was so good, yeah. Tell old Chris, kiss on the cheek, bump, hello my son, bump. My boy's lovely, just had a baby, he's beautiful, big. My boy's 6'4", big, and could have a fight when he was a kid, right? But good boxer type, taekwondo. Anyway, everything's sweet. Then all of a sudden, Yammy started getting involved with my family. Perry evidently had phoned him up. Right? I don't know what went on there. I ain't got a clue. But Perry had been dead for years, 30 years or something like that. Yeah. I was always told that he died because he was a naughty boy. He put some people in prison, right? And I was always told he died. When I phoned Christian up, when I see it on the telly with Yammy, I said, listen, I just seen your brother Perry on a program on YouTube, on a video. She went mad. Yeah, don't lie to me, he's dead. They've been saying that for years. When I told her to look at it, she looked at it and got straight on the phone to me. Yeah, he's saying everything's right. Everything he's saying is right about you. I thought, hold up. What do you mean right about me? What are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? What are you talking about? 1 minute he's dead. I've told you he's alive. You should be happy. And you're popping me out now. I'm a bad egg. Do you know what I mean? And since that time, we ain't talked. It's crazy. We ain't talked. You know? And then she writes all sorts of messages on my phone. You this, you that. And then she writes messages to Terry. Yeah, he should see his son. His son wants to train with him. Mate, I can't do it. I can't. Because I never know what she's up to. She's always skullduggery. She's always up to something. She's one of them people that think well in advance, you know. So she's worked out something already that she wants my son to be here. She's doing something. I said, no, I don't want to see him. Terry comes, you got to see him. I said, no, Terry, I don't want to see him. I can't see my own son because of that. You know, and people say, well, he's 41 years of age, he's got his own mind. But he ain't. He ain't got his own mind. Because of the accident, his mum rules him. He can't talk, his mum rules him. you know, and you got this stupid little man, Yammy, big mouth man, saying what he's saying, mate, about my families and all this, that and the other, getting my family involved in the YouTube. What is going on? This man's an idiot, mate. He's a fucking idiot. To pull me in on something like that, you know what I mean? You don't do that. You don't do that. This geezer underestimates me, mate. He don't know. He's an idiot. He's a little fool, man. He's a fool. You know? What I don't know whatever he's on is giving him a lot of power. He thinks he's, I don't know what he thinks. He is Superman or whatever, but he ain't, you know? He's a little wimp, and he'd go running to the police in 2 seconds. He shits himself. He's a little baby, mate, you know? Hides. He's hiding, mate. He's hiding. You know, a guy that's goes in these houses, you know, residential houses or what they call them, you know, 10 people living in them. He lives in a little room, comes downstairs, has a little bit of dinner, sits in the front room, goes to bed. That's what he does. He lives in these houses. He don't stop living in them 24/7. Rehab. And he talks on AA. He talks to AA people on AA and all that time. That's why you're getting, you know, he talks like that. Like he's talking to people. He talks quite good. You know, he puts it together quite well. But really, the geezer's an idiot. He's an idiot. People over Labatt Grove, Notting Hill, all round there, you know, all round there, mate, are going, mate, no one's seen him, mate. Not a soul has seen him. You know, not a soul has seen him. Only one person that's giving bits and pieces. You know what I mean? And then he goes. And then he goes away. You know what I mean? He goes away. He comes back and then he goes to where he's just come from. He comes there, gets his things and goes back to where he's just come from. The man's a little fool, mate. He's a little fool. He's a nothing, mate. He's a nothing. And it's a shame that people on YouTube believe this geezer, man. You know, I don't know how people do, but you know, that's what it is, YouTube. Not everybody can like me, you know, but people love him, mate. I can't make it out. The people that love him are the people exactly the same as him. People that take drugs and all that. That's all it is. You know, I can't blame them. You know, he talks the same language. They all talk the same language. I can't say anything else. It is what it is, yeah? But anyway, bang, 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 good morning. And, you know, whatever. Bye-bye.